Okay, so this is my hey guys, this is my first guide on League of Legends. Topic I chose is going to be this. Why is it that many people suck, and how can they improve? How can you improve? Why am I saying that they suck? Well, I can see that a lot of people are raging, LoL community is toxic, and some statistics say that 70% of players are bronze, and I believe that. Now, why is it? Why is everyone bad, and why do they rage? Well, they rage because they're bad, obviously. Here are a couple reasons. They take the game too casually. They play 3 days a week, not 7 days a week. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it's the same. The game, improving at something is the same as building your muscles. Do it 1 week, don't do it 2 weeks, do it 1 week again. You're not gonna notice results. You gotta be consistent, and you gotta play every day. Or at least, if you're playing casually, at least make it the same day and the same day again next week. Don't be too casual, you won't improve, or at least not as fast as you would otherwise. Reason number 2, you blame others for your mistakes. A lot of people have been telling me, oh, I'm in this league or that league because of my team being bad. While that might be the case sometimes, it's definitely not the case every time you lose. You should not blame people for their mistakes. You wouldn't like to be blamed if you died or anything. You don't like that. You ignore people if you blame you, right? You should not blame others. They're a player just like you. Actually lost my thought here, sorry about that. You shouldn't blame others. It makes the game worse. It creates a conflict, it creates an argument, it takes your focus away from the game. Focus on your own mistakes, not on others' mistakes. Look for what you can work on. Don't look at other people. It's their problem, not yours if they suck. Reason number 3. A lot of you, or a lot of us, want to improve, but we're not willing to move a finger for it to happen. So, here are 10 things which you can do to improve. Tip number 1, practice last hitting in custom games. This has been done in LCS by a lot of pros. They practice creep score or last hitting in a custom game right before they go into a game that's might be important. You should do this. I'm not saying you should do this before every single game, but you should try to do this to get used to your character's animation and get that last hitting. Try and set up like a bot match where you have a bot, he harasses you, and you try and get a certain amount of last hits. For example, if you get 100 last hits at 10 minutes, hell, if you get 90, you'll be golden. Just don't kill the bot. Play around with it. You should practice last hitting, it helps. Tip number 2, buy more wards. Yes, I know, you're already buying wards, but you're probably not following timers. If the other laner is smart, he's going to tell his jungler that, oh, he just warded, and then one of them is going to say, oh, the ward's going to end in 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, I can't remember. I play 3s, not 5s mainly, lately at least. So, if you don't follow the timer, you're going to stay unwarded and you're going to be ganked. Many people don't even ward at all, that's why they die. You should buy wards. 1 or 2 wards every time you go back. At least have 1 ward in your inventory at all times. I know it's expensive, I know it's annoying to delay your items, but believe me, it pays off. And don't blame your support if you're not warding top lane. It's not her job to ward everywhere. It's everyone's job. Tip number 3. Follow timers. Timers do not only go for wards, they also go for Baron and Dragon. If you don't follow timers, you have a better chance that the other team is going to be there before you, they will get it, or they will counter you, like engage on you while you're doing it. And you know, if you follow the timers, that ain't gonna happen. You're gonna be there before everyone else, and you might have a chance to get the Dragon or the Baron, and potentially either get an advantage or win the game. Games are made of numbers. Numbers are important. Follow the timers. Number 4. Tip number 4. Read guides and use them to improve your item build. Read guides. Don't use mobile fire. I can post a guide there, and if people like it, you will follow it. I might be wrong because I'm not a pro. Read guides on solo mid or LoL pro, and make sure they're by players that are diamond or by pros. Use those guides to improve your item build. Don't copy the guides. If you just copy them blindly, they're not going to be as flexible as they could be, or they might not even work for you because you don't know the thought process behind them. I know it's explained, but still, try not to just copy the guides. Try to make your own builds. Number 5, tip number 5. Do not rage at your teammates. Yes, I said this before. Do not rage at your teammates. It just creates conflict. It takes away your focus. It makes you mad. It ruins your experience. It ruins everyone else's experience. And you lose league points. You don't want any of that. Do not rage at your teammates. Stay nice. And if someone's raging, ignore them. Move on. Tip number 6. Learn about the game from all the media out there. I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch streams. I read LoL Wiki. Sometimes I watch LCS. And all the other stuff that's out there. You should do it too. It helps a lot. If you theory craft, it's like you're doing your homework. You're gonna be way better prepared than someone that doesn't do it, and you're gonna be the better player. Because believe me, a lot of people don't do it. I'm not saying that most of you don't do it, but a lot of you don't do it. And that does not, it does not just goes to, god damn it, sorry about that. It's not just watching montages, it's watching guides and like taking notes, and yeah. Tip number 7. Make sure you know what you're doing at all times. If you take down a tower, you gotta know what to do. You don't just keep pushing, you're gonna die. You either keep pushing but you buy 2 wards and ward the river and the blue buff if you're on red spite, or yeah, you need to have wards in order to push. Otherwise you should either roam, or you should counter jungle, or you should back. Know what you're doing. Also, I wrote commitment because if you're going to get a kill, you need to use everything to get that kill. Because otherwise, if you underestimate someone, they might just kill you for it. Tip number 8. Do not give up on practicing. Stay consistent. I did not become good in the first 2 months of my play. Did not even become good in a year of my play. I played for a year, then the 2 months after that I started improving because I started really working on it. Now, I'm not saying you can't improve faster, but don't just keep practicing if you're not where you want to be. Because if you're not where you want to be, it's not over. It's not over until you say it is. Stay consistent. You're gonna lose. You're not going to become diamond without losing a lot of games. So keep practicing. Tip number 9. There are no counters to a good player or team, only to champions. Let's take an example. We have Fizz, and Fizz is countered by Rise. But let's see. For example, how can you play as Fizz versus Rise? Well, if it was me, I know that Fizz's W reduces healing, for example. So Rise does not get his spell vamp, so that makes him a lot easier to kill. There you go, an advantage, even though I am counterpicked. There are no counters. If you know what you're doing, and if you know the limits of your champ, or you have good team synergy or good teamwork with your team, you can win against your counters. It's the strategy and the skill of a player that matters, not the champion. Tip number 10. You need to learn how to smartcast properly. If you're not doing it, you should start doing it because it's really good. I've improved a lot when I started using it. And it was a long time ago, of course. So, let's see. Why is Smartcast so good? Let's take an example. So, we all know that Doublelift is a good AD carry, right? There was a clip on YouTube, a montage or something. There's this short little play where he gets up from a GA and he kills 4 people in 1 second. You're not going to be able to do that without Smartcast, because with Smartcast, essentially you can save like 2 seconds to cast all of your skill shots as Ezreal. And 2 seconds is a lot of time, believe me. And the more actions you can do per second or per minute, the better of a player you're going to be. Because if you have a faster reaction time than someone else, that's gonna give you the edge that you need. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. And if you have any suggestions, or if you would like to see footage instead of PowerPoint, then feel free to write it in the comments. And I just figured that, it would be easier to follow what I'm saying if I made a PowerPoint, so I did not include footage of gameplay. See you next time, and the guides, they will come out shortly. I have ideas, I just need to make it happen. Cheers, guys.